Hey everybody, just taking a little break from mowing the lawn. The sun's finally shining, and I wanted to do at least a partial yard tour today because we got a lot of stuff that's starting to bloom, and I know we've got a lot of rainy weather coming up. And this time of year, if you don't look at the stuff when it's blooming, if you miss it by just a few days, it might be gone. So since I'm not going to be able to get out here over the next few days in the rain, I wanted to have a look around today. First of all, we've got all of these lilies beginning to bloom. I don't remember exactly where we got these. I think we got these from a friend of mine, and we've been dividing them up over the years, and we now have them pretty much everywhere. When we get up here, you'll see we've got a bunch of them planted up here. You can see a bunch of them over there. They're all over the place. I also wanted to look at some of the potted plants over here today. I thought I heard a squeaker behind us somewhere. So this is our mobile planter. It's an old wheelbarrow that rusted out and it leaked, so that actually works as drainage holes. And that is all Lady in Red salvia that's coming up, so that'll be a little while before we see any flowers on that. But right now we have some of these potted plants that look really amazing. Nothing special, just petunias there. This is catnip, Christmas cactus, but these petunias are fantastic. Really digging these petunias here. And then over here we have got these petunias, which likewise are just awesome. I'm really enjoying these petunias. I think these are my favorite. And then there's some more potted plants there. There's Squeaker getting all dirty and filthy, and you know he's going to go inside and then go get into bed and roll around and put all that grass in the bed. Darn cat. So these are another petunia that we're not going to get justice done with them in the shade over here, but they're like the Starry Night, except they're red. They've got those white speckles in there. If you're not familiar with the Starry Night, is it Starry Night or Starry Sky? I think it's Starry Sky. So we'll be seeing some of those in just a moment. And these are the Rex begonias I had down by my waterfall tank. I've decided to bring them up and out here. And I actually have a different Rex begonia that we just picked up that I've taken inside and is now down by the waterfall. So just some more of the potted plants we've got out. This is everything I just shoved out of the way while I was mowing the lawn. So we'll come over here and have a look at these potted plants. So these are the night sky petunias, or Starry Night, or whatever they're called. And we found these a few years ago, and we've been buying them every year. But this is the first year we've seen those red ones. They're awesome, so I'm really happy we got those. And then these black elephant ears are looking better and better the bigger they get. Not even sure what this is, and if we're going to do anything else with that planter or not. I'm assuming we will in time. And then these are black and blue salvia, which I think are really pretty. I like to get some of these every year too. And you can see where they get their name, black and blue. All of this is rudbeckia, or black-eyed Susans. I do have some of this downstairs that we're probably going to be looking at in a video relatively soon, and we'll be able to do a comparison between what they look like out here in the sunlight versus what they're looking like in the basement. So you can see the hosta has the flower spikes up everywhere. We're pretty much done over there. We were given some new daylilies this year, and I'm hoping they will establish well enough that they'll get rooted in. We planted several little plugs of them through here, even these little ones. I'm hoping they don't look too good, but they might do something. And then you can see all these other daylilies have their flower spikes up and ready to go pretty soon too. Hydrangea is just starting to go down here. We've got one little flower starting. We've got phlox everywhere, but they're not blooming yet. Did a little bit of work over there, cutting some branches out of a tree, so we won't bother going over there. We do have a few daylilies blooming. This is the same kind that I've got down in the waterfall tank. I think of this as a roadside orange. They're just a common daylily. We do have a lot of other varieties, but the common ones are plentiful, like all of these. That's all those common daylilies. All the ones you see around the base of trees are just the common daylilies. Nothing special about them either. So our Happy Toad planter has got a really deep red geranium going in there. I like that. All of these hostas are already blooming. You can see the caladium down there has come up and looking good. Those daylilies will be blooming very soon. And then of course all these hostas are still going. And we've got daylilies and so on and so forth going on down here. So moving along, we're not going to go all the way up around the top side tonight. Still not sure about this fuchsia. We got this not too long ago, and I can't decide whether it's doing okay or if it's just kind of stunted, but it's, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's doing bad, but it doesn't look like it's thriving either, so I'm not sure what's going on with the fuchsia there. So let's just come up across the front here. Of course, you can see all the flower heads on all these daylilies. There's more of those sort of pink, sort of salmon color lilies there. This is all, or mostly, daylilies over here. We do have some ferns and various stuff going on in here, but not a lot of color. So we're just going to kind of cruise past all this. That little splash of yellow right there is Coreopsis. We don't get a lot of sun, so the Coreopsis doesn't thrive here, but it does survive, and we've got it in various spots here and there around the place. This is a ground cover, and I don't remember, it's bugleweed or ajuta, I believe is its proper name, and I don't remember planting the sort of purple variety like that. It looks almost variegated, but we've got it, and we've got it in a lot of different places, so I'm really happy with that. That is our hydrangea up there is starting to go, and that's pretty exciting. This needs to get cut back this year probably. That hydrangea gets really big by the end of the summer, and it blooms all summer long. So once it gets going, it's just going to have blue flowers all over it. All these little sort of spiky looking things that you probably think are weeds are actually phlox. So we should get some flowers coming in off of them pretty soon. And this is a ground cover right here. It is Creeping Jenny, or if you plant it underwater in your aquarium, it is called pennywort, I believe. But it's starting to flower, and that's what all these bright, pretty little yellow flowers are. I've got this inside too, in the waterfall tank, but it's not doing too well, and I'm certainly not getting any flowers off of it, so I'm a little disappointed by that. But, you know, what are you going to do? So let's come over here across the back side of this garden, and we've got another hydrangea up here that is starting to flower. Same type of hydrangea we have at the other end of this bed. Our coral bells have all their little flower spikes up, so they should be opening up pretty soon. Coral bells have a really dainty flower anyway, so it's really hard to really get a good look at those flowers. Here's another patch of those lilies up here. Now all of these are, looks like a weed, grows like a weed, but it is gooseneck loosestrife, and it's going to be really pretty in another few weeks. Still got a ways to go. It's going to get about 4 feet tall before it actually has its flowers on it. And you can actually see some of our bee balm in here starting to bloom. And here's actually some of the earlier flower heads beginning to develop on that gooseneck loosestrife. And yes, that's what they all look like, and that is where they get their name. That will develop into this gooseneck with the flower on the end of it. So, without walking too far into this bed, all of this is bee balm. This stuff smells amazing if you bruise it. And you can see it's starting to go now. We've got the red over there. And we also have a variety that is almost like a raspberry color. And I don't see any of that coming out yet. But even just bruising the foliage and smelling, just me walking, brushing through it, smells amazing. It's not called balm for by accident. Anything that's got the name balm attached to it usually has a lot of aromatic oils in it. So what else we got going on? Not a whole lot going on over here. We'll come past these lilies. Again, not really sure why I wound up putting these everywhere like this, but I'm glad I did, because now we've got these lilies everywhere. Some more hosta here blooming. So let's have a walk over and look at this garden. This is our favorite bed over here, favorite garden. It's a series of beds, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it. The wife actually got over here today with a weed whacker and cleared out some of the walk spaces so we can actually walk back in here, and you can actually sort of actually tell it's a garden now with footpaths and beds and all that separated by the trails. So this is the first time I've seen it since she came over and did that, and it looks great. I'm gonna have to compliment her once I'm done. I'm gonna go get the grill fired up. We're gonna do steaks on the grill for dinner tonight. So coral bells, we've got our chocolate Astilbe here. Really liking this chocolate Astilbe. This is not my favorite one this year, but really liking the chocolate Astilbe. Again, some of these little coreopsis that managed to hang on. These hostas are just huge. We need to divide that up. That thing's probably 5 feet in diameter, maybe bigger than 5 feet in diameter. Huge flower spikes on it. Not a whole lot going on over here. The Astilbe is in bloom and the hostas are getting ready to go, so we can just go around and look at the various Astilbe. Really like that hosta too. I got a stupid fly has attached itself to me. Once you get those deer flies find you, they just keep following you and following you. So we've got little bits of this Japanese painted fern put in around here. There's another tiny little Astilbe right there. But in the bed way over there, we have some ghost fern. And I think that's the next thing we're going to do, is start trying to incorporate some of the ghost fern over into this garden. It looks very similar to the Japanese painted, except it's not so colorful. It's just sort of pale white. And, well, when you see it, you'll realize why it's called ghost fern. It looks very much like its name implies. So down here, more Astilbe in bloom. We'll have a look at some of the stuff that we're still getting into the ground. I'm going to come back out, go around this way. Last time I did a yard tour, I forgot to mention, this is a oak leaf hydrangea. This is a new one that we just planted. I really like the oak leaf hydrangeas. A lot of my customers have them, and I'm really looking forward to this one growing in, because it should get pretty big. The idea is that it's going to more or less fill in this area here, and it's going to sort of back up against the trees there. So these hostas are all filling in nicely. We'll have a look down there in just a moment. But this bed is one that I always enjoy, because you got to start looking at it really closely. We have a lot of these little micro hostas all over the place. In fact, we've got so many micro hostas that they're probably ready to be divided up. So as with my regular hostas and pretty much anything else in the yard that you see, if you're interested in it, I'll put my email down below. I do sell plants. I sell aquatic plants for the garden, for the aquarium. And then I will gladly dig up any hostas or fern cuttings, anything like that. We can get them in the mail to you too. So again, check down below and you'll see my email. And we'll see what we can do. So that's another little micro hosta. It's pretty much full size. It's already flowering. I can't remember the name of most of them. I'm really looking forward to when these flower. They got the daintiest little flower spikes. They're really tall flower spikes for as small as the hosta itself is. So they're going to be interesting. Over here we've got pretty much the end of the garden, but if you will look, you can see all of these dead nettles. They are really starting to take off and grow. We didn't plant them, they're native around here. I do have some of these on my waterfall tank downstairs too, but you can see how they're almost cascading down and even pushing all that grass down. Now they've already done flowered for the year, so it's just going to be growth for the rest of the summer, but that's okay. And then this is the sort of bottom corner. This is a toad lily. I've never had one of these before, but we just planted it recently, and I'm really looking forward to when those little flowers open, because according to the picture on the tag it came with, it's going to look almost like some kind of orchid or something. A really interesting little flower on it, so I'm looking forward to that. These right here were our favorite astilbe because they're vibrant red color like that, and that's without the sun even shining on them. You should see them in the full sunlight. They're amazing. These are pretty, those are pretty, but these are incredible. We just got these the other day, and as I was carrying them from the car to the house, I just kept smelling this amazing fragrance. Smelled like flowered perfume, and it took me a minute to realize it was the plant I was holding out in front of me that I was smelling. I was walking through the breeze of it, you know. And we didn't typically associate astilbes with fragrance, but this one is incredible. I can smell it from here. So that, to my knowledge, is the only fragrant astilbe. We've gone around and sniffed the other ones, and they do have a fragrance, but it's really, really subtle. You know, you basically have to sniff the flower, and even then you can hardly smell it. This one is, it's just so fragrant, it's amazing. So that is by far our favorite astilbe, and of course if you look at how just huge those flowers are, it's incredible. So that's exciting. We got these last few little hostas that need to get in the ground. These also are micro hostas. Of course you can see all these little micro hostas over here. And we've still got these astilbes haven't even flowered yet, and so on and so forth. So I think that's about it. Not a lot going on in the driveway. I do have a little path we can walk through down there and get to the driveway and walk up, but there's not much going on in there. So this is always kind of a nice little tree to stand under too if you want to get out of the shade or get out of the sun in the afternoon. When it is up this way, we actually do get a little bit of sun in the afternoon, and this provides us with a little shade tree. Not sure what kind of plant this is. I've looked at the tag already. It's whatever that says, but it is a real looker. That is such a beautiful flower. And I'm gonna say that's about it. We're back to where we started. Again, we're gonna skip the driveway for today. This was really just to get a look at some of the stuff that's flowering at the moment, because as I said, we wait a week and a lot of this stuff will be done and gone already. I'll leave you with that last look at that beautiful little cosmos right there. We've got that one, and we have another one right over here, although the new flower down there to the left has not actually really opened up yet. But when it does, especially when the sun is shining on it, they are amazing. And look at this, we got one of our coneflowers has opened. I didn't even notice that. So that is an echinacea, or coneflower, purple coneflower. And that is opening up. That's what all these are. So these are, that's all echinacea of varying sorts. And I don't see any other ones, but that is definitely one of our purple coneflowers opening up. So make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss anything I got coming up. Most of it is down in the fish room, but during this time of year when it's nice and pretty outside, I like to come out and do videos like this too. So if you're subscribed, you won't miss any of them. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you real soon in the next one.